Has that been a thing?
Yeah, that's like a big theory that people have talked about because there's so many signs. The theory is that Matt Damon's character is
Sergeant
gay.
Sullivan.
Yeah, he's gay because there's so many like little hints sprinkled in throughout it.
That's so weird that I've never heard that before. I'm a little embarrassed by that, actually.
There's another theory too.
I thought I was really onto something with that theory. I was like, no way. Like, whoa. I didn't know that was already out there.
I mean, if you watch it from the very beginning, there's so many hints to it.
Yeah.
That make you believe that's probably the case.
Pretty sure it's the case.
There's also another theory that because this is like more of a stretch, you have to like really think about his character, but if he grew up in like Boston with like he was Catholic, and so you think about if he was in the church and maybe he got, molested by somebody, so that's why he's not very good sexually because it's not like he has bad experiences with it.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, especially when Costello actually like talks to the priest at the cafe, and he, like gets on to him about like, having sex with like little boys.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's like genuinely mad because that's the one conversation you see Costello have that like there wasn't any point to it. Like he was just taunting this guy.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with business. He drops off a little drawing of the woman that's a nun that, he used to fool around with. So yeah, like I said, just a little embarrassed that I'm a little late to the party, but at least I did it on my own.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I didn't know. Yeah. I had no idea that was already like being talked about.
But this is your...
we'll talk about like the signs that, because once I remember once I said it, we just like kept kind of like picking up on little things. We were like, oh, I see what they're kind of like sprinkling around. But that would make more sense that he's not necessarily gay, but because if he went through that, like you said, like growing up in a Catholic community, being very close, like just kind of like messed with him.
Yeah,
a little bit.
That's why maybe he can't get it up. That's why he doesn't like. I mean, when he's in that porn theater, he can't. Like he has trouble watching it. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he just thinks it's a weird place to meet Costello.
Yeah, I mean, if I was like in a porn theater, like surrounded by like a bunch of clearly like weird guys
in trench coats,
I would be
just
very
jerking off,
like just like uncomfortable. Like, this is, do it at your house or in the car.
Not back then.
No,
unless you had like VHS or something.
Yeah.
Magazine.
Anyways, yeah, so we'll talk more about that later on.
Talk more about our gay theories later.
Yeah, we just dove right into the gayness.
Sorry, I got distracted thinking about it.
The first thing that kind of like points to it is whenever they like, he's in the academy and they're like playing rugby, I think, against the firefighters. He like keeps calling them queers, fags, all that. And then like, and then the guy sits next to him, says something, and Matt's just like, fucking those firefighters are so gay.
Yeah, he's so homophobic, like overly, like he's like having to prove himself.
That's the first sign. Then the second sign is obviously her being like, you want to talk about last night? Like obviously saying like, it happens. Just saying like, obviously he was struggling keeping it up. So that's sign 2.
Another sign is whenever this is like a more subtle sign, but whenever he walks into the police station, I think it's like kind of the first time you see him, he's walking to the police station and he sees the buddy that he like graduated with, and the guy sees him, like gives him a thumbs up through a window, and he like looks at the girl, whistles at her, like looks at her ass, like because he's knowing that he's watching him, so he's like putting on the thing of like, oh, I like ass, like I'm gonna look at her walking because I'm a masculine straight man.
Yeah, and then that, and then the other one is Alec Baldwin's character. Just asked him, he was like, "You married?" He's like, "Yeah, the wedding's coming along," and Alec's like, "Good, marriage, it makes you look stable, makes you look, confirms like you're not gay, that kind of stuff." So that was, I guess, the fourth one. And then like the fifth one is when Jack's like, you like pretty miss thing, like sucking on your cock. And he kind of he gets like a little thrown off, like uncomfortable. He's like, yeah, I do.
Right.
Like, little stuff. Like we might be pulling straws at some of these.
I don't know.
But there's just a lot of signs.
There's too many. When there's too many signs, it has to point somewhere.
There has to be. But I didn't even put it together that like, he went through the Catholic school and we all know like what kind of troubles go on over there.
Yeah.
Gets pretty fucked up over there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think he's definitely gay. If not, I mean, there's too many signs. Like the theory, what we were talking about earlier with him being, again, like abused like that. That is a stretch, I think. That one's more of a stretch than him being gay.
You think?
I think so.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe not like for sure gay. Like maybe just,
I haven't seen it in a while, and at the beginning when he keeps calling them queers, I was like, I just had a thought. I was like, why does he keep calling them? Why does he keep bringing it up?
I will say, like in his defense, like I think, I guess maybe I don't know about Boston, but like I know in New York, like there's always like the constant feud between like the fire department and the police force. So like there's always like that shit talk.
Yeah.
And, as the rest of Boston, like you said earlier, like they're always just like kind of making fun of like masculinity. So it must be really tough. Like it would be the worst. That would be tough to be a gay cop in Boston.
Clearly,
that.
I mean, just in
That
this
would be
world,
very tough to get around.
in this world, it's obviously everybody's trying to.
Maybe everybody's gay and they're just trying to cover it.
In this movie, everybody's like, it's a very masculine world they're in. So like, if he wants the power in this like masculine world where everybody's making gay jokes or talking shit to each other, it probably wouldn't be accepted. So like, if he wants to achieve the life that he's like dreaming and aiming to, like he's like putting on this like fraudulent front of who he is. He can't do that if he's gay in this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. The first couple times I saw it, I thought it was just firefighter police beef, and then after this like probably my fourth time, and I'm like, that's kind of weird, And then you mentioned it, and then we just kept catching things.
Yeah.